Wow. Amazing. The successful bidder donated it to a national museum. I gotta go to Ireland and check this thing out. Let's do it. That guitar lived a life. You know what I'm saying? He bought the entire stock from Nashville Showbud. He gave 3 to his friends, George Harrison, Pete Townsend, and Steve Winwood. Now that's a great friend to have right there. Hi everyone. Making the last 4 videos was quite the intense and intensive process. So today I just want to have some fun. And I hope you'll enjoy some of the fun stuff I'll talk about, okay? Of course I'll show you some pictures, and all the links to the articles are below. Most of them are from Guitar World, which I subscribe to. And I get lots of fun stuff in there, and I love, and once I even made a 3-part Jimi Hendrix GOT series about it, from an article where Eric Gales talked a lot about all the different things Jimi Hendrix was amazing at. Obviously this is going to be mainly nerdy guitar and music stuff, so here we go. I'll go ahead and look at these articles. I'll be pretty much reading and so let's take a look at this stuff here, okay? All right, so here we got the 22 most expensive guitars of all time. The 22 most expensive guitars of all time. I'm not surprised at a lot of these because I've seen them before, and just by the people involved, I'm not surprised. Number 22 is Eric Clapton's Black E Fender Stratocaster. Now, I have to say that I actually saw this one in person in 2004 in LA. I remember when it was in the auction house in Rodeo Drive, and it was being shown there, and I remember seeing this guitar. So I imagine it's the exact same one. I don't know if they would have a replica of $959,000, which is 2004. So you got to adjust for the price of inflation there. It set a world record auction price at the time of the sale, but now barely scrapes into the top 11. So he basically Clapton wanted a Stratocaster in 1970 because I know, he was famous for all those Gibsons during the Cream times, the famous Fool SG guitar, the 335, the Firebird, and all those. And of course, before that, it was the John Mayall Bluesbreaker Les Paul. But I don't know if he played a Les Paul in Cream that much. Anyway, so in 1970, he wanted to get a Fender Stratocaster. He was getting into all kinds of twangy country stuff at this point. Like he was way into the band. So he wanted to, of course, go for that kind of sound. He bought the entire stock from Nashville Showbud. He gave 3 to his friends, George Harrison, Pete Townsend, and Steve Winwood. Now that's a great friend to have right there. And he's assembled his ideal Strat from the rest: 56 body, a 57 neck, and a 3rd guitar's pickups, 2 50s models, and 1 1970 gray bottom. Now this is truly a custom job right here, taking all these things together like that. He played almost exclusively from 74 to 85, 1974 to 1985. All right, number 21, we got Bob Dylan's 1964 Fender Stratocaster, sold in 2013, $965,000. It looks pretty nice. Okay, so this was the guitar that he played this 1964 Stratocaster when he did the whole going electric thing and at the 1965 Newport Folk Festival. All right, next, number 20, we got Rory Gallagher's 1961 Fender Stratocaster. This is by far one of the most beat up guitars I've ever seen in my life. And if you ever seen videos of this guy playing live, you wouldn't be surprised either. I feel like his concerts were like a sports match or a game or something. Like he was like 100,000,000% into it. Rory Gallagher was just real, 100% real. He was a real dude, and he just went for it every single gig. He was going maximum full tilt, turbocharged, turbo speed, turbo gear. You know what I'm saying? 1,160,000 in 2024. Damn, too bad he wasn't around for that. The family was selling his legendary 1961 Fender Strat. Wow, so fortunately for those who wish to see the Strat stay in Ireland, the successful bidder donated it to a national museum. I gotta go to Ireland and check this thing out. Let's do it. Wow. Amazing. That guitar lived a life. You know what I'm saying? All right, next number 19. Dwayne Allman's 1957 Gibson Les Paul. This is a gold top thing. Like, wow, this gold top look is so unique and it's so interesting. And I always wondered, like, what's the difference of sound of the gold top? I'm sure I've read about it many times, but I kind of feel like it's one of those things you gotta check it out yourself and feel what's happening there. This one was 1.25 million this was 1.25 million in Dallas in Dallas in 2019. Guitar nerds may be surprised that the most expensive Les Paul is not in fact a burst, but this 1957 gold top. Oh my god, it was used on the first two Allman Brothers albums, as well as Derek and the Dominoes' Layla. He traded it for a Sunburst model. He insisted on keeping the pickup, so the guitar now has the humbuckers from the burst. Wow. The former owner frequently loaned it out, so you could see it. You often saw it with people like Billy Gibbons and Derek Trucks and Kirk Hammett. All right, cool. Next one, John Lennon's 1963 Gretsch 6120 Chet Atkins. Now, from the looks of it, this thing is totally hollow body, so you've got some serious sound issues to deal with. And I have a semi-hollow, and I don't seem to have that many problems with it, but I imagine somebody with a fully hollow guitar would, because the semi-hollow really probably really helps that whole sound feedback thing. 1.27 million in 2026. Ooh, that was very recent. It was recorded during recording sessions of songs like Paperback Writer and Rain. Wow, he gifted it to his younger cousin. Can you imagine being his younger cousin and getting this guitar, and now you just made 1.27 million? Or I don't know, whoever made 1.27 million. That's crazy. Number 17 is also John Lennon. He's 1964 Rickenbacker model, 1996. Again, this one also 1.27 million. Played this on the stage. You're using it during the Beatles Christmas shows in 64 and 65. In 1968, it was gifted to Ringo Starr. So 2 Beatles owned this guitar. I really liked how this one looks. This one looks great. I mean, I like how they all of them look, obviously, but this one has a certain, I just like the look. Wow. I just like the look of this wood tone. It's like this great melting of colors is happening, and those knobs and the steel plate of the bridge, those pickups. Oh, this thing looks so cool. Like, it was like, this is what they thought of as the future back then. You know what I'm saying? This was the futuristic of the time. In 1964, this was futuristic. So that's what's cool about it. The whole look of it is very 1960s futurism kind of feel. So yeah, I really like the look of this one. Like I said, I like them all, but this one has something, I don't know. Number 16 is Kurt Cobain's 1993 Fender Mustang, the Skystang 1. $1,587,500 in Nashville. It was passed to his brother Chad Cobain before eventually going to auction in late 2023. The guitar was purchased by Japan-based businessman Mitsuru Sato. So after 30 years abroad, it seems the instrument headed home. Cobain had ordered 10 of these in July 1993. It was built in Japan. Why Japan? Well, at that point, Fender's U.S. custom shop did not produce left-handed models. So the task fell to Zimmerman, the man behind the necks on Cobain's first Jagstang builds. Wow, this is very interesting. They had to build them in Japan because the Fender custom shop didn't do left-handed models. This is very strange. I mean, that's Kurt Cobain. Wouldn't they have commissioned somebody in the custom shop to do it anyways? All right, anyway, let's keep going. Moving right along, number 15, David Gilmour's 1954 Fender Stratocaster. This looks like I don't know if I've seen him play this particular Strat. It's got the Olympic white kind of look, but like a gold pickguard, which is really cool. This golden pickguard is very cool. Yeah, I like the gold pickguard right here. This kind of like brassy or gold or whatever. This is definitely a very worn guitar, but I've never seen pictures of him play this thing, but okay. 1.815 million. Its serial number is 0001. It makes it confusingly not the very first Strat. That was 0100. But nevertheless among the first pre-production Strats given to Fender endorsees. Wow, it was recorded to use those funky rhythm parts on another brick in the wall. Number 14, Jerry Garcia's Wolf guitar. There's a lot of knobs and switches happening here. And let's see. You got Two humbuckers. You got a middle humbucker. That's very interesting. There's a bridge humbucker, okay, but there's a middle humbucker and a single in the neck. And it looks like it's 24 frets. But notice how compact the pickup area is. It's like the pickups are really close together compared to most guitars. This is very interesting. It's got like a bridge and then another way bridge. I don't know. I guess maybe that has something to do with the tone or the way the guitar plays. I don't know. I'll probably never play this guitar, so I don't know, but it looks very interesting. $1.9 million in New York in 2017. The only guitar on this list not by a major manufacturer. It's the Doug Irwin. I think it's the same guy he was using for other guitars. Ah, there it is. An ingenious plate system allowed pickup systems to be dropped in and out, while two outputs let Garcia run his effects loop separately and switch it from the guitar. Iconic to Deadheads, the Wolf was a flagship of a Grateful Dead auction that raised $3.2 million for civil rights charity, the Southern Poverty Law Center. All right, cool. Then next we go to number 13, which is George Harrison's Gibson SG Standard. Okay, this looks like your typical SG from those days. $2.271 million. $2.271 million in New York in 2026. It was part of the Jim Irsay collection. As you know, he was the billionaire who was the principal owner of the Indianapolis Colts. And he was a big-time guitar nerd. He had a massive crazy collection. So I guess he died in 2025. So I guess they did an auction of his entire collection. A lot of money for an SG, yes, but Fab 4 connection is the key. Harrison used it a lot live and in the studio. So White Album, Sgt. Pepper's. We're getting close to the top 10 here. Number 12, David Gilmour's Martin D35. $2.393 million. Again in New York just this year. This was the guitar that was used to record Wish You Were Here. One of the most iconic acoustic guitar riffs and songs of all time. Definitely one of my favorites. 2003, David Gilmour told BBC Radio 4's Desert Island Disc his Martin D35 was the one luxury item he'd want if he were stranded at sea. It's the best guitar I own, he said. It's the guitar that's always by my side. I've written just about every piece of music using that guitar. My ideas come through that guitar. Amazingly. Wow. It was used along with Wish You Were Here. It was used on every Pink Floyd album from Dark Side of the Moon to The Final Cut. It's a 1969 D35. And he auctioned it off to benefit the charity Climate Earth. I think that's a good way to go. Again, almost at the top 10. We've got number 11, John Lennon's Gibson J160E. Now we got another acoustic here. Very nice. $2.41 million. Los Angeles in 2015. He used this to write hits like I Want to Hold Your Hand. It was also used on Love Me Do, one of their biggest early hits. It was stolen at a Christmas concert in 1963. What a terrible thing to do, steal somebody's guitar. People who steal guitars are some of the most heinous people on the entire planet. You should be barred from whatever country you're in. You should be put in jail. You should be put away. That's one of the most horrible things you can do is steal somebody's musical instrument. You are a bad person. Do you understand me? All right, now we're cracking the top 10. Let's do it. The Reach Out to Asia Fender Stratocaster. Now, I have no idea what this is. Let's find out. $2.7 million in Qatar in 2005. It's unique that it was never owned by a superstar. The Strat was auctioned for victims of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Interesting. It was just a Mexican standard Strat bearing the signatures of Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, Brian May, Jimmy Page, David Gilmour, Jeff Beck, Pete Townsend, Mark Knopfler, good lord, Ray Davies, Liam Gallagher, Ronnie Wood, Tony Iommi, Angus and Malcolm Young, Paul McCartney, Sting, Richie Blackmore, Def Leppard, and Bryan Adams. Now, how the hell did you fit that many signatures on one guitar? Wow. New made in Mexico Strat sold for around $350 in 2005, making this objectively the most overpriced axe of all time. Ooh, number 9. Okay, number 9. Eddie Van Halen's Kramer ad guitar. I know, I remember seeing this picture. What's funny is they did a Kramer ad, but they didn't fix the pickup cavities for the Kramer ad. Everything is exposed. You can see what's happening there. That's it. He doesn't care. It's like the pickup cavity is all messed up. It's like, wait a minute. I thought this was How is that happening? So anyway, 2.734 million in New York in 2025. This was one of the built in the early 80s. This was built in the early 80s. This was one of the very first Kramer guitars that Eddie Van Halen built and used. And it was featured in this famous ad here. It was just used on stage a number of occasions. So, okay, anyway, let's keep going. Number 8, John Lennon's Help 12-string frameless hootenanny. Good Lord, $2,857,500. Why couldn't they just make it $858,000? What's with this 500 here? All right, New York 2024. Most expensive Beatles guitar to sell at auction. I can see why. I guess it's a very rare thing. I mean, the company Framus is still around now, so, but I bet back there's not many of these around, so. And it's a 12-string. Number 7, we got one of my favorites, which I've actually seen a replica of it at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas. I was there for a Generation Act show, which was one of the ones where Steve Vai and Yngwie Malmsteen did Black Star together. That was awesome. Eric Clapton's 1964 The Fool Gibson SG, $3,003,000. Just recently again in New York in 2026. Wow, 3 years after it sold for just over $1 million in 2023, it tripled in 3 years. It became his go-to guitar in the post-Blues Breaker days, while him and his Cream bandmates were piecing together Disraeli gears. This is also from the Jim Irsay collection. So, next we got Eddie Van Halen's Hot for Teacher Kramer, $3,932,000 in 2023. This one is of course everybody's seen this guitar in the video. Now we're getting to the top 5. Number 5 is Eric Clapton's MTV Unplugged Martin 000-42. Wow, $4,101,000 again in New York in 2026. It was on the MTV Unplugged cover, and with this guitar, he played 8 of the 17 songs in there, including Layla, Before You Accuse Me, and Old Love. Okay. For number 4, we got another MTV Unplugged guitar. Kurt Cobain's Martin D18E. $6,010,000. Los Angeles 2020. Rode Microphones owner Peter Friedman was the man with the dented wallet to the auction. Wow, number 3 is also Kurt Cobain. The Smells Like Teen Spirit Fender Mustang. Oh yeah, this is a left-handed Mustang. That's not easy to find. And I like this blue on this Mustang here. Mustangs also had this futuristic vibe. So I like Mustangs. And yeah, it's a lefty. $6,907,000 again in New York in 2026. It was used in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video. Number 2, we got the Jerry Garcia Tiger guitar. $11,560,000. Again, New York 2026. This, of course, everybody's seen. And I wonder now, after reading that thing from before, it's that same little pickup swapper thing in the middle there that he could swap pickups in and out. And again, he favors that middle humbucker thing. And of course, it's got lots of knobs and switches. Those switches probably seem like coil splitters for each pickup right there, along with the pickup selector switch. And as you can see from the intonator thingies, that the strings aren't going too far back. This thing probably has better tension than the guitar we saw earlier. Of course, it's got that tiger thing, the really nice wood grain feel and look, and the cool shape. It's a very cool, unique shape. All right, now we're coming to number 1. David Gilmour's Black Fender Stratocaster. I'm so glad to see one of my favorites on the top spot here. As you can see, the guitar has a very short whammy bar. That's the way Gilmour had it done. He wanted a very short whammy bar. I think maybe because he didn't like it in the way of his fingers when he was playing, and maybe obstructing his access to the switches and pick up the switches or the volume knobs on the guitar. That's what I can imagine. Holy crap. $14,550,000 again, New York this year. It's the one that he played the Comfortably Numb solo on. Wow, that's amazing. So there you have it. The 22 most expensive guitars of all time. There's no need to lose your mind anymore. My free and easy 4-step song blueprint worksheet will help guide you down the right path. Give it a spin with your next song idea. Download link in the description. Then join my Songwriting Workshop, your 4-step guide to better songwriting. We'll go way deep with these 4 steps to give you a complete songwriting transformation. You'll learn how to create a clear, focused song vision, craft a strong strong, tight structure. Use music and lyrics creatively to tell your story. Easily overcome creative blocks. Here's what you'll walk away with. Write and finish songs faster with more confidence. Have more fun while songwriting. Create songs that truly reflect you. Use DAW and AI tools more creatively, and much more. It's 2 2-hour sessions via MS Teams with breaks and a Q&A in each session. Check out the links in the description to download your free song blueprint and then go sign up for the workshop. I'll see you there. Just remember, focus on your goals and enjoy your journey. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you immensely. Have an awesome creative day.